It's the BSM Summit in Los Angeles. Tyler McComas now joined by Perry Simon. And Perry, we're through day two now, or we're in day two. What do you feel about the summits up to this point?
What I like about it is that it's focused on sports radio, and unlike a lot of other conferences, it just sticks to the topic. And I think that's valuable because there's a lot of, I guess the way to look at it is that there's more to take away from this for the people who are attending, because it's more focused than the average radio conference. Most radio conferences bring in people from many formats, and there is a significant difference between what a sports radio programmer would need to take home and what a music radio person would want to take home. And the atmosphere is much more collegial, I guess, is the way to put it. It's a good group of people. There's a fairly substantial number of A-list people here, so there's a lot to take home. There's I think several of the sessions and several of the presentations actually had some actionable advice. In fact, one that's going on right this moment with Jason is giving two areas that sports radio and radio in general, but sports radio in particular, could be making money on and aren't. So if there's somebody, whether it's a GM or a PD, who is looking for ideas, that's the kind of thing that you can get at something like this. So I think it was well planned in that way. I also like that several of the panels have paid attention to podcasting and digital. I'd like to see more of that, but that's my personal preference. I see that as a tremendous growth area and important in developing and maintaining a younger audience, because so many sports radio stations, not just the ones on AM, are focusing on keeping what they've got, and that is an aging male audience, and there's just so much more of an audience out there available. So I'd like to see that become more of the conversation. There was a panel on women in the business, and I think that is also extremely important, and I'd like to see more talk about that. The population is getting more diverse. The world is changing, and while sports radio still has a very strong representation in men 35 plus, the world, the demographics of America and the world are changing, and this industry, like radio in general, has to come to grips with that, and I'm hopeful that in future conferences that becomes part of the conversation more than it was this year, although it did get some call.